Hello, and a very warm welcome. Max voicing concerns regarding the F1 sprint races. F1 desperate to get these sprint races in, expand it. They want to mess around with the weekends. Like if it's not broke, why fix it? The F1 weekend works as three: practice 1, 2, practice 3, qualifying, and the race. But they want to mess about with it. They want to stink joint out, having sprint races here and there, even though it's exactly the same result as a normal race. But yeah, Max expresses frustration by F1 sprint push. Max has again spoken out against the F1 sprint races and urged the sport to protect the special emotion of racing on a Sunday. I actually agree with him here. These F1 sprint races are artificial, and I'm not a fan of them. F1 has trialled a revised weekend format featuring sprint races on a Saturday. Yeah, and they're not that entertaining, the sprint races anyway, so the sport had hoped to expand from 3 events a year to 6 in 23, and although the teams have agreed, the FIA voted against it in July. Domenicali recently came out and said he wants sprint races. He wants to mess around with weekend, basically. F1's CEO, Domenicali, recently stated an ideal scenario would be for drivers to have something to compete for in every session. Yeah, I agree with Max here. He likes the history of racing on a Sunday. Asked about the potential for sprint races every weekend, Max said, "I would not enjoy it, I just don't like it. The Sunday emotion and feeling should be special. That's the only time you race. That's how I grew up racing anyway. Sunday is race day." And I agree with him fully. I haven't come across anyone that likes these sprint races. It's like artificial. It's like putting a plaster over a cut. It's just not right, It doesn't feel right, and it's just artificial. Sprint races divide opinion. The positive aspect is somewhat different on the weekends. Drivers get to see more racing. The negatives, it's like messes up the point system, etc. And there's not much change from the normal race on Sunday. Again, Max adds, so far the sprint races we've had, not a lot has drastically changed in terms of results. More or less everyone starts on the same tyre, and that's where you finish because you're scared to have an incident which will affect your race the next day. So yeah, there we have it. Comment down below your thoughts on these sprints. I would put them in the bin and just go with a normal weekend. If it's not broke, don't fix it. The weekend works for me. They're trying to, they're desperate for sport popular in US. We're having 3 US Grand Prix. Now they want sprint races. We should be looking to get more teams on grid, but no, Domenicali wants to mess around, stink joint out, and have a full calendar of street circuits. Yeah, you got to keep the DNA of Formula 1, in my opinion. Comment down below your thoughts on sprint races. I'm not a fan. I put them in the bin.